I hadn't planned to ring their bell. They never invited me, and I didn't need an invitation. Not to a house I paid for. I stood at the gate, the very gate my money bought, its metal stamped with their initials, not mine. Warm light spilled from the windows, laughter drifting out like smoke. Familiar voices braided lies into celebration, my mother's high, tinkling laugh, my father's proud baritone, the new owner's cheer. My hand hovered over the latch a moment. Then I pushed it open. The noise inside hiccuped when they saw me. "Oh," my mother began, clutching her wineglass. "You came." "I did," I answered, stepping across the threshold and scanning the walls, the marble floor, the chandelier I'd picked out after my father complained about the cost. Couldn't resist seeing what my money bought. Nobody laughed. 3 years earlier I was still trying to make them proud. Every promotion, every raise, every little win I announced like a child showing a picture. They'd smile and say, "That's nice," then steer the conversation back to my brother. He was their golden child, a dreamer who never labored, never planned. I was the organizer, the one who paid the bills, fixed the problems, kept my mouth shut. When they lost their old home, I stepped in. I promised to buy them a new place to live. Temporary, I said, just until things improved. They called me a savior. I believed them. It began small, mail forwarded, a few phone calls. There was no lawyer's number on the caller ID. Then my father neglected to tell me about the housewarming. I asked once. He said, "Oh, it's nothing big, just family." Family, the word tightened in my chest. A week later I overheard my mother on the phone, voice sharp and hurried. "Well, what's done is done," she said. She bought it, but it's ours now. I remember standing there with the phone pressed to the wall, my breath lodged between disbelief and disgust. It wasn't merely about money. It was about being erased. They hadn't only taken what was mine, they'd rewritten the story as if I had never existed. I didn't confront them then. Not yet. Instead I called my lawyer. Quietly I combed the deed, every signature, every clause. I owned the land, the structure, everything inside those walls. They were merely occupants. I smiled for days afterward. They misread it for peace. It was preparation. I rerouted the account logins, changed the locks on the financials, redirected the property tax bills back to me, and arranged a discreet transfer notice, the kind that gives occupants 30 days notice before eviction. I planned the timing precisely, 1 week after their big party, because revenge tastes best served before dessert. That night I moved through the crowd and felt eyes swarm like flies. My mother's friends whispered. My father's jaw tightened. "Why didn't you tell me about this?" I asked, keeping my voice soft. My mother's smile trembled. "We didn't think you'd want to come. You're always so busy. Busy buying houses." "Yes," I replied evenly. "Especially this one." My father sighed, already annoyed. "You bought it, but it's ours now," he reminded me. "You said it yourself. A gift." "Did I?" I tilted my head. Odd. I don't remember the paperwork saying that. He frowned. "What paperwork?" I pulled a white envelope from my bag. "The one that gives you 30 days to vacate," I said, and pushed it toward him. "You'll find the legal notice inside." Happy housewarming. The hush that followed was exquisite. My mother blinked, as if words might undo it. "You wouldn't." "I already did." Her glass slipped and shattered across the marble. I didn't flinch. I didn't raise my voice. I just watched. My father stepped forward. "Where were your parents?" "Yes," I said. "And I was your daughter when it suited you." He lunged for the papers. I kept my grip. "All those years," I said quietly, "I worked to keep you safe, to make you proud, and when you finally had something to be proud of, you chose to steal it." My mother's lip trembled. "We needed a home." "So did I answered. "But I built mine from nothing. You simply moved in and claimed it." The guests were silent now, witnesses to a perfect undoing. I stepped back and left the envelope on the counter. 30 days, I repeated. "After that, I'll be changing the locks again." My father didn't reply. My mother stood, drained of color, as pale as the marble she'd selected. I turned toward the door, pausing once to take in the room, the lights, the illusion of family. From the outside it all looked immaculate. I drove away with the windows down, the night air cold and clean. It didn't feel like revenge. It felt like justice, like restoration. They'd spent my life teaching me to give, to sacrifice, to remain silent. I gave until they mistook my quiet for weakness. But silence can be a weapon. They'll learn that every time they see the eviction notice pinned to the door, every time they remember that the house they bragged about and claimed as theirs was never theirs. It was mine. And this time,